Hello and welcome back to the post-production tutorials. This is tutorial 2, which is the basic editing. For the purposes of this video, I've brought in a bunch of videos, audio, and some images as well. You may be wondering, what the hell is this program? This is Final Cut Pro X, I believe, 10X, I don't know, Final Cut Pro. And it looks a bit confusing at first. You have lots of windows and lots of little things that are going on. Let me talk you through all the things. So here is the libraries, all the events and things that people have made. So each one is a different event. They all have different things, different projects that people are working on. So the one that I'm working on, editing tutorial, we created it last episode. I've added in these videos instead. Next, we go over to this area, which is it is this library. So we come from here over to here. This is this library. A library has all of your files that you need. It has anything that you've imported. It also has the project file itself, which I'm going to rename just so that we're all on the same wavelength. Next, this is the preview window. And so if we click on a video, we can scrub through it, and this is that's what we see. Okay, but it's also, if we put something into this next area, which is the timeline, to put things in the timeline, you drag it down, and this is what your final project will be. You know, if you say you export the final video, it's everything in here from start to finish. So if I exported this now, it'd play from here, it'd scrub through, it'd record all of this, and stop there. Okay, so the timeline, that's where you do most of the work. Don't ever put an audio clip in first. That's bad, because it does this and it doesn't recognize that it's a video, and we don't want that. So we want to cancel that. It will go out. Always put in a video clip first. So first of all, editing. Let's say we want this clip, okay? But it's quite a long clip. See? Oh, they're dancing at the start. We don't want that. We don't actually want that. What we want is from here. We want where where they're talking. We don't want the bit before they knew that we were recording. And so how do we do that? Well, there's two ways. The first way is using in and out points. So let's say we want to start about there. We will press I to set an in point. That's where you're going to start the clip. You see how there's this little yellow box. The in point. And that is where we're going to set the out point. So you play the video and you press spacebar to play and stop the video. And now we're going to press O to set an out point. So now we've got this little box, and it starts at one point and ends at a different point that isn't the full video. And now what we can do is drag this little box into here. You see, if we drag the whole video, see how it's longer, the whole video? So we've just dragged this small part. So let's undo that, and I need to do that again. So the other way to put it into your timeline is press E. That appends it to the end of the timeline. So if we pick another one, press E, press E. You see it's putting it to the end each time. But we don't want those two, we just want this one. Now, if you look here, it has a little bit of a pause before they start talking. And so what we want to do is remove that pause, and there's two ways. As you saw what I did earlier, you can drag this little thing, and you can sort of drag it to where you want the start of the video to be. This is a bit annoying because you don't actually know where the start of the video is, and because you can't actually hear it. You have to sort of guess. And so the better way is by using the arrow keys, because you can scrub through a lot more finely. And that is exactly where they're about to talk. So I there. And then I stop it just before they stop talking, and then you can scrub through to where they finish, which is about there. and you know, you can add a frame or two just to make it, you know, a bit nicer so they don't instantly start talking. But that, you see how that's slightly smaller. If we want to go in a bit further, we can actually zoom like this, and it's probably a bit too zoomed in there. But let's compare the two videos. So this is the first, the rough cut, and this is number 2. See how that second one, it started straight away. There wasn't the little gap between. So that's what you basically want to do when you edit. You want to try and minimize the gaps in talking and make it all flow very nicely. But there is another way. If, for instance, we take the whole of this video and we put it into our timeline, but we just want that bit at the end, right? What happens if you accidentally did that? You accidentally put in the full video, and you don't want all of this. You don't want all the dancing stuff and the laughing, because who wants to laugh nowadays? Ooh. Let's say you just want this end bit. Is there a way of cutting this? Well, of course there is. In here, in this little drop-down menu, you see a bunch of tools. There's one called Blade. Now, if we click on the blade, we can actually, at any point along the video, cut. And you see how it's made a little cut here. We can cut anywhere. Okay, we can cut as many times as we like, but we're not going to. The place we want to cut is precisely here. You see, and I can tell that because this is the waveform of the audio, and this is where they start talking. You see how it's louder? They weren't really talking to the camera at that point, and then this point they start talking louder. So let's blade it there, and then you can go back to the select tool. And as you can see, these are the shortcut keys. So A is to select. If I press B now, then that's the blade tool. So A. We'll click on this one, and we'll press backspace, because you can either press backspace or delete. But what delete does is it gives you this annoying black box. So try and always press backspace, unless you need that black box in and you need things to stay spaced out. But you're most likely going to need to press backspace and it will remove it. So let's delete these first two. And now let's just listen to this. Let's say we want to stop it there. The best thing about the blade tool is that actually it snaps to where the timeline is. See you see how that like jumped slightly, and it jumps directly onto where the time is. And so you can cut there. You can go back to your select tool with A, and you can delete that bit, and that's a perfect cut. Perfect. Come back into the next video where I'm going to be doing some audio tutorial.